Hi Brendan, it's Colin. I'm going to create a support video for you instead of a phone call. Phone calls typically, I can't see what you're seeing, you can't see what I'm seeing. So let's see if we can do this and sort it out this way. I know you talked to Chris a couple times on the phone and that really didn't get things sorted out earlier today. So let's see if we can move things along a little faster here. You open up your page. I wanted to explain that the images you see on the page in the design view, don't get too caught up in having to click on these to open up the library panel. It's just a shortcut. Nothing has changed from the way we used to edit the two other templates, and that is going into the library and the shared or your slider or your components folder, like the video instructions or the text instructions online will walk you through. This is just a shortcut. And also, I put this in here. Let me just get rid of some of the visual aids here because we don't need them. I put these bits and pieces in here because a lot of people were trying to edit the component directly in the page and they couldn't figure out how to do it instead of actually reading the instructions. Believe it or not, a lot of people just jump in and try and go ahead and make changes to things without actually going into the instructions to figure out where and how to make those changes, right? Because these are library components or Dreamweaver assets, right? So the Alt-click, maybe it is different on a Mac, okay? It's probably Command-click on a Mac, and that's probably why you're having trouble. Alt-click is, I think Alt is just a PC command. I didn't put the Mac command on here because I figured if you're working in a Mac, you already knew the different key combinations. You could have different mouse buttons. I don't know. Macs are a lot different in terms, and there's kind of too much information to put in here. But typically Alt, and then you see this little thing here. You see this indicator? Like whenever you click on it, you can sort of click around here like so, and eventually you get the call to action LBI, and you just click that, and it's just a shortcut to open up the call to action LBI page. It doesn't replace the fact that you still have to go into the library. Let me make a little bit of room here, right? Okay, it doesn't, you still have to open up the actual page. It's in the actual folder. So if you were just to go into the library and the shared folder, there's your copyright, there's your footer, your Google search, your menu top, your website name. Okay, some of the things we've left in there from previous templates that some people like to use but we haven't enabled is the tagline. We have not enabled the graphic logo, okay, but we've left them in there because some people like to use them, but I haven't done anything with them myself. But if you're having trouble in the design window with, you know, the Alt click and the command click with your Mac setup, then don't follow the instructions here. Just do what the actual instructions online will tell you to do. Or better yet, just take a look at the name of the component, call to action. Okay? If I go to my components, call to action, right? Testimonials, so there's three folders. There's the components folder. There's the shared folder, and you can see which assets are there. And then there's the sliders folder, and you can tell which assets are there, right? Now what page are we on? The index page there? Right. So, like I said, these are just sort of placeholder graphics, just so to give an idea, and the video window is a little bit small. It doesn't give the full picture, right? Yeah, if you can't open it, it's because you're on a Mac and your specific key combination, probably command click, right, or whatnot. But typically, if you Alt click right where it says Alt plus click, you will get this little thing to open up. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it. That's not the main way or the main method of opening the file. Anyways, the main method of opening the file has always been go in here. The Tempest is the very first template that I've put these little placeholders in, and I thought, well, if I'm going to put placeholders in, somebody's going to try and click on something and do something, so I better put some sort of instruction in here. So of course, in your case, it doesn't work. Ignore it. Just go right into the library folder itself and get in there. Now, my other question or concern was you mentioned that the tutorials had missing pictures. If you're talking about this, yeah, ignore that. I'm more concerned about if you actually go to the instructions page, and if you're finding there's some instruction that actually doesn't have, actually that's a bad one. Let's go to the quotator small there, right? So we have video here, and maybe there's some screenshots in the page. If you're missing something that's of vital importance, let me know. But other than that, if it's just the placeholder image there, ignore that. That's just we create an icon. We haven't created the icons for these things yet because we're producing, or I'm producing the the actual components faster than our webmaster can produce the icons and put them into the instructions page. But other than that, all your instructions should be here. And if you click the instructions button, it'll open up a new page, right? You select Dreamweaver, and then you just, you know what, if there's a video, watch the video. If there's text, and there's also, this time we've included text and screenshot for you as well. But as far as the actual page itself, if you can't get this open in a Mac, it's no big deal, because you just go into the library folder and open up the call to action file directly, and that's what the instructions will tell you to do. Actually, in the instructions, you know, this is just the first thing. Here, try that. If that doesn't work, then go down here and do this. You know, open up the you know, the actual folder where the component is located, and you'll get the same result. Okay, but yeah, if you said, is it a Mac issue? Absolutely, and it's probably a key combination of, and you'll have to actually do a how to open a Dreamweaver asset with a Mac, and I don't know what Mac combination button you have, if it's a 1 button or a 2 button. I'm not a big, I use PCs for my videos and stuff, although I do test on Mac, but I don't work with Dreamweaver on Mac simply because honestly I can't stand the 1 button mouse. It just drives me nuts for developing websites. But I haven't replaced my 1 button mouse with a real mouse yet. But as far as getting these to work in Mac, you know, your command click would probably be what you'd have to do. In my case, it's a Alt click, and that opens up the little thingy right here, and then I click on it, and it, you know, would open up the LBI page. But it still tells you what page to open up, the call to action LBI. So you know, you can actually go and the assets panel, there's the call to action LBI, right? So there's another method of opening that up as well, call to action LBI. It's just one of probably 10 different ways to get access to your Dreamweaver assets, right? And it tells you right here which file it is. You can enable your assets panel, like right here. Make sure it's set to library. Then you can see the call to action. There it is there. Or you can go to the, you know, testimonial slider LBI. Okay, testimonial slider. Double click it. It'll open it right up, just the same as the command click or the alt click.